For character number 4, last night we rolled Oxica here, who was a full orc. I wanted at least 2 characters to be from Volos. And there's a 25% chance that they'll be from Volos. So I will still roll randomly, and if we get a normal character, then tomorrow's character, the 5th member of the group, will for sure be a random Volos race. So let's start with that percentile roll and find out. 29. Okay, so we're going to deal with a PHB race. Just barely, though. You know what? That might just be a fixed point in time, Rytel. that could just be a fixed point in time. No. It means female orc. she's just an orc, but she is female. 34 means that we're going to have another female character, and we're going to roll a d10 and find out which one. 8. Oh, and now we have a half-orc. Who favors her evens, who favors her orc side. Norton the Knoll, F plus orc is fork. That makes perfect sense. It could very well be wonderful, Norton. In your head canon, it now means full orc. Orc, no gender society. You either go full orc or you go home. So all that matters is that you are orc. Are you? Yeah. So it's really, are you a fork or a mork? Let's see what levels she is. Or actually her alignment with 2 percentiles. You all are something else. Lawful neutral. By the way, she is a medium creature. There we go. And her level is going to be a percentile 68. We get a level 15 character. She's going to be getting a stat bump at 4, 8, 12, and we're just shy of 16. So of the 3 ability score increments, let's roll to find out how many will be replaced by feats. At 49, stat bumps all the way. Now for her background, we're going to generate a 13-sided die and roll it. 3. 1, 2, 3. She is a criminal / spy. We have another criminal here, too. Interesting. Criminals have D8 origins. Pardon me. So this is going to be number 6. Then we're going to roll 2d8 for her personality traits. 3 and 6. Remember, these are just placeholders. I don't know what they mean. If you do, well, you're just a big old smarty pants. We'll figure out later when we're developing her personality. 2, 4, and 3 for ideal, bond, and flaw. Now, let's figure out if we get another bard, which would absolutely make Bubonic One's day, right? Especially if we got a Valor bard. Isn't that right? Norton Well, Norton, I'm glad you are in high spirits tonight. It's good to have a laughing, rolling hyena sound kind of like going around here. We have this big golden D12 right here. And let's find out what this is going to give us. Bubonic One is out there saying, not a 2, not a 2, please not a 2, please not a 2. Laugh your tail off, says Norton. An orc bard is a bork, so yeah. So then what happens if you have a fighter orc, but is male? And of course, if you have a sorcerer orc, right, you have a sork. But you have a sork. Also be interesting to see the full orc and the half orc interact. Yeah, I think that'd be a very interesting dynamic. Yeah, Bubonic One saying no too. Let's hit it and find out. Obviously, that's a mork fork. I didn't say anything, Bubonic. I've said nothing. I'm just going to roll this again. And we get evens. And evens is a College of Valor bard. Mork, the dork with a fork. Bork it is, says Dark Wolf. Bubonic One, this was of everything we could have rolled. This is like the one build you wanted the absolute least. Wolf does a bark. Bork. Well, we'll make her a very valorous bard then. Or what did you call it, Bubonic One, last night? They're like a kind of like a cheap knockoff rogue or something like that. Oh gosh, let's give her some physical stats. Half orc start at 4'10". We're gonna give him 2d10 inches. We're gonna give him an extra 13. That's gonna be 5'11". Oh, poor man's rogue. Gotcha. And then let's take that 13 and we'll multiply it by 2d6. By 10, so 130 pounds. She is 270 pounds. We'll roll percentile for age range. Let's see, 58 is an adult. Number 3, so we go to that column. Half orcs are between 26 and 40. Which means a D15. 6. Okay. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, and 31. Cool. Man, these dragons are getting pretty hungry. We don't need the random roll generator anymore. Boop. And now we're in Chapter 4 for the background. At Evelyn, Norton will sing and make music with you and have stories to tell. Excellent. Yep, does have a criminal background too, says Darkwolf. Could be a spy, right? Who'd suspect? Blah, 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 Evelyn. I can see it being okay getting 1 a week, but we're getting 2 or more per week. Yes, Dark Wolf is still trapped in the donjon. Norton's wondrous item, indeed. Norton, Norton, what is your what are your experience points right now? Okay. So you're a little under 3,000 here. So that's the magic items. What am I looking for? All right, I need you to roll a percentile, Norton. Give me 1d100, please. Oh, you got to have the 1 in there. 62, you say? So we're looking at... Okay, we're looking at Table B. I want you to roll another percentile, and we'll find out on Table B what you're getting. I wonder why it didn't. I wonder why it didn't go off there. It might be on a cooldown. It might need a minute or something like that. But when you get it, we'll pop back here. Yeah, it might be on some kind of a cooldown. We'll give it a moment. It's still forming from the mists. Criminal or spy. You do get skill proficiencies in deception. And stealth. Some type of gaming set. And thieves' tools. You'll get a crowbar. Dark clothes with hood. Belt pouch. Ooh, these dragons are ferocious right now. And 15 gold pieces. Our criminal specialty was number 6, which is a hired killer. Lawful neutral. Yeah. Nothing personal. I'm here to kill you. We do get criminal contact as our background feature. This allows us to pass messages, get info, maybe get, black market items through our contacts. Yeah, go ahead and give it another try, Norton. It should have been long enough. It might be a minute or something. I just wanted to make sure that, it couldn't be, super spammed in chat or something. 33. All right, so out of the mists of creation on magic item table B. So you get, Norton, you get 20 pieces of ammunition plus 1. So I don't know if that's magic rocks for a sling, arrows for a bow, if that are bolts for a crossbow. But you find 20 pieces of ammunition plus 1. Well, then be creative. If you have, so let's say you have a sling. What can you do with 20 magic stones? Ammunition isn't wondrous, though. There you go, Norton. Norton's seeing the silvery lit, the silvery lining to this. You have magical rocks on your spear. Clearly, it is blessed. I don't see why not, Dark Wolf. It would probably consume your night, but sure. Alright, her personality traits for this hired killer are 3 and 6. The first thing I do in a new place is note the locations of everything valuable, or where such things could be hidden. And number 6, I don't pay attention to the risks in a situation. Never tell me the odds. Wait a minute, this is sounding familiar. So, our half-elf, who is a pickpocket criminal, has the same personality type as our hired killer. This could be very interesting. Lawful neutral versus lawful evil at that. Almost like rivals, it would seem. But what do the rocks do? Can I roll to find out? Well, so conceptually, these are magic rocks that if you were to throw them or fling them or sling them or slingshot them, they are going to be more accurate and deal more damage, and you get 20 of them. Or I guess if you were to try and skip rocks on the surface of a pond, you might get a couple extra skips out of them because they're magical. Though if you want to try and, I don't know, do something else interesting with them, look, it's a magic item. Magic can do a lot of different things. What would you like them to do? You can put them in a circle, maybe use them in some kind of a ritual. You could maybe use them for some low-level illumination. Not that I don't think you need light, but maybe if you want some low-level light, you could wear them and look very threatening. Rycon, oh, you ordered a Volo handbook today. Cool. Oh, Volo and a handbook. Very good. You'll find a lot of cool stuff in there. Lots of very good fluff. I know that I don't spend a lot of time going over the fluff in the books. I don't want to make it seem like it's not relevant or doesn't matter. If you sit down and crack open those books, Rycon, you're going to be given a ton of different ideas. Norton also does have fluff. They may be adorning your spear, so I don't know. Maybe if you want to, maybe you could fashion them as maybe you can fashion these rocks as spearheads, and then every time you use your spear, the magic will guide your spear, but when it hits, the magic is gone. So if you take the time to craft them into spearheads, you have a +1 spear that you can throw or stab with 20 different times. Volos is good. Xanathar's Guide to Everything is an excellent book as well. Because Wizards is taking their time in releasing splat books, I think we found a lot of higher quality splat in 5th edition than we have with previous editions. His ideals are number 2, freedom. Chains are meant to be broken, as are those who would forge them. Bonds are number 4. I will become the greatest thief that ever lived. Wait a minute. I will become the greatest thief that ever lived. Yes, we have a rivalry. And you know what? This is bringing up a good point. If you have players at the table who are willing to entertain a rivalry and or a romance or something in between, like a bromance or frenemies, having similar traits like this could be very interesting. It could cause a little strain in the party, you know, if you're role-playing through it, but what could develop between these two characters? You love the Kenku and have a great idea for one. Do you want to share that, Raikon? Or do you want to keep it a secret from us hobbitses? If I got a Volos, could I play a Kenku in a future campaign at the store? For the Thursday, and then when we get back to it for the Wednesday games, Dark Wolf, I'm going to keep it PHB only right now because I want everyone, I want it to always be this accessible, everyone, if you have a PHB, then you can play the game. Maybe there's another time or another slot where I can do something like a D&D 201 or 301 where we run a little bit more advanced content, and then then we can allow different books to be used also. Norton says frenemies like me and the Owu. Darkwolf says no, you was bully. You threw spear at me, and now you have a magic spear. And the flaw of this character is number 3. If there's a plan, I'll forget it. If I don't forget it, I'll ignore it. You may say, well, wait a minute. How does that work with the first thing I do is to note the locations? Well, that doesn't mean that this person makes a plan to act on it. They just note it. It has been noticed. Senpai has been noticing the things that Senpai wishes to obtain, and is willing to wing it or come up with a plan on the fly. Yeah, and I understand why you'd want to, Darkwolf. Believe me, I totally get it. But because I want to keep those adventures as accessible and open to as many people as possible, for those days, I want to keep it D&D 101. Raikon says the idea is he or she has a weapon that speaks to him, and the people in the world have no idea where he gets the unique voice from using mimicry. Oh, okay, yeah. Using sentient items, that can be very interesting, especially for a mimicry character. Just be careful, Raikon, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but don't have your item overshadow who you are as your character. Alright, the dragons have been snuffing and horting a little bit. Let's go over into a goblin's cave, which, by the way, are one-word adventures over here. I think Jonathan is our main protagonist in this week's story, and I think Jonathan is slowly going over into the goblin's cave to rescue the person who is kidnapped by them. We're kind of getting there, step by step. Of course, we have some other named figures that will show up in the narrative, But Jonathan is slowly making his way towards the goblins as the rural youth who is on a quest to save a kidnapped family member. And, yep, Bubonic One was also sharing part 2 of his family's adventure. Okay, now that we have the personality... Oh, you know what? Should she be a spy? Although your capabilities are not much different from those of a burglar or smuggler, you learn and practice them in a very different context as an espionage agent. You might have been an officially sanctioned agent of the Crown, or perhaps you sold the secrets you uncovered to the highest bidder. A College of Valor Bard. A half-orc. Lawful neutral. First thing she do is note the locations of things. She doesn't pay attention to the risks of a situation. Don't tell her the odds. She believes in freedom. Chains are meant to be broken. That sounds kind of espionage-y to me. The greatest thief, or in this case, maybe the greatest spy or hired killer. If there's a plan, I'll forget it. If I don't forget it, I'll ignore it. So she's kind of she's an individualist. I'm kind of digging the spy aspect of her. If you think differently, and you think that she's more of just a criminal who is a hired killer, then let me know. There we go. Let's go up to races and go to half-orcs. Half-orcs get a couple things. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Raikon says, the idea was more for an NPC, like a creepy traveling shopkeeper. I wouldn't enjoy role-playing a Kenku. Oh, gotcha. And you know what? It is nice that in Volos, they do give a little bit of a warning to you if you're piloting a Kenku to be aware that their proclivities may make them a little annoying at the tabletop, depending on how you do it. And Sothalite, good morning to you. You get like a little bell sprout thing going, right? Escaroots, where did you get your PDF files that you can modify? There's a couple different places, Escaroots. If we do char sheet, there's that, and there you go, Escaroots. Dark Wolf says, anyway, I had an idea for a sweethearted Kenku who's a kleptomaniac but a hopeless romantic, just wants to give shiny things to love interests. Oh, that's a cool concept, Dark Wolf. We are going to get +2 strength, +1 con. We're going to make little notes down here for that. We are going to get 60 feet of dark vision. And by the way, Eska, thank you for joining us if I didn't say that yet, and for being a part of our chat and our community. I hope those pages work for you. If they don't, let me know, and maybe I can help you figure out what's going on with them. We do have proficiency in the intimidation skill. Eska, thank you very much for the follow. We are going to get relentless endurance. And savage attacks. We are also going to speak common and orcish. Or just orc. Orcish would only be a little orc. Next week, you're starting your first D&D game with experimented friends. So are you going to be a player in that game, or are you going to run that game, Escaroots? A player, okay. Do you have a character made yet, or do you need to make a character still? By the way, now that we've finished details for Orc, we're going to collapse this and go down to classes and Bard. I might still get Volos so my sister and friend can pick those races if anything happens. Yeah, no, I understand, Eska. Having a form-fillable PDF is really good. You can modify things, you can change it. It's a lot easier. Although I'll tell you, if you're running a digital version of this and you spill something on it, odds are it's not just the PDF that's going to suffer. So you got to be careful at the tabletop. All right, now I do know a little precognition here that College of Valor is going to get College of Valor is going to get a couple extra things here. As a bard, you get training in light armor. College of Valor will give us medium and shields. And as for weapons, bards do get training in simple weapons, though the College of Valor gives you training also in martial. So we're just going to put simple and martial to keep things condensed. We are going to get 3 instruments of our choice. Our saving throws are Dexterity and Charisma, in the ones in which we have proficiency. And we're going to get to choose 3 skills. Ivlon says best tool for digital sheets is D&D Beyond. You can have your sheet on a laptop or mobile, and you can also print it out. So, Eska, if you do want to explore that as well, there you go. Which 3 skills? Let's see. Is note the locations of everything valuable. Freedom. She'll become the greatest thief, or in this case, spy or hired killer that ever lived. And if there's a plan, I'll forget it. If I don't forget it, I'll ignore it. Probably then investigation, perception, and keep looking at. I want to make sure we're choosing skills based on her personality to, really flesh her out as a character. Not the locations of everything valuable or where such things could be hidden. I don't pay attention to the risks in this situation. Freedom, chains are meant to be broken, as are those who forge them. I'll become the greatest thief that ever lived. You know what? I almost want to say history. So that way if she can historically place, this is the treasure of King so-and-so. Or I know the history of thieves and killers and all, and the seedy underbelly stuff, and I'm going to compare myself to that history. So I think those 3 make sense. If you have other suggestions, Eska, Ivlon, Darkwolf, Bubonic, let me know. But I went with history, investigation, and perception. Darkwolf says, luckily for me, Wednesday group has a crow companion now, so I can practice my crow voice. Let's see. She's starting with a rapier, longsword, or a simple weapon. Probably a longsword. I think she's just going to be like a sword and board bard. I don't even know how charismatic she'll end up being. So let's give her a longsword. We're going to give her a diplomat's pack, so she can write eloquent letters, even if they're of ransom. A lute or a musical instrument. Leather armor. And a dagger. Derek, hello, welcome. Yes, Eska, it is a very good website. And I'm glad we're able to help you find resources here. You think I should do a Beyond character? I don't mind doing something along those lines, Evelyn. Oh, are we back to the dinosaurs? Did I not, Oh, yeah, I didn't cycle that out. There we go. Let's go back to the cave. We're in the Goblin's Cave. It's kind of reflecting what we're doing in our one-word adventure. So we have this standard array that we can apply. I think 8, based on her personality, is going to be her wisdom. Right? She throws off things. She's observant singularly in all of the wisdom skills. But I just don't see her as being extremely wise. Her charisma, hired killer. What if we went 15, 14, 13, 12, and 10. Yay! Dark Wolf is no longer there. That would bump us to a 17 strength at level 1 and a 15 con. You want a random generated character? Well, if you want help making a level 1 character or whatever's going to be appropriate, let us know and we can go through the character building process with you step by step, Eska. Oh no, Bubonic One Death Count is sharing your sentiment. Yep, Eska. Especially in 5th edition, any race works with any class, works with any background. And if you want to just leave yourself open for whatever, if you're not afraid to challenge yourself or to be open for different ideas, then you will have a lot of fun. Probably, fighter or barbarian, Ivalon, they're very direct. Dark Wolf says goodbye to Frederick, who is off to pursue the life of a paladin. So now we have 3 stat bumps that we got at 4, 8, and 12, and she's almost close to getting her 4th one. I think we should do something... Let's use one of them to round up her strength to 18 and charisma to 14. Let's put our second one into con and strength, and then we'll put her third one into Spy hired killer. Maybe dexterity then. There we go. You think you're going to do that? No problem for the insight. However much I provided, though, of course, chat can often be more responsive because I'm on a 10-second delay with you. But Eska, you let us know what you want help with. Do you need advice? Do you have a question? If you want to generate a character, we can take you through that process. And whether you use the character or not, it doesn't matter, but you're going to get the instruction on how to do it. This is going to give us a 4, 2, 3, 0, -1, and 2. Maybe not tonight. You're heading to bed really soon. Oh, no problem. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us, Eska. And you know what? If you are on Discord, feel free to join us on Discord, because we can also answer questions or help you out there, even when I'm not broadcasting. Let's see, we're level 15, so we're going to be getting this stuff here. This is a +5 proficiency. And we're going to get 4 cantrips. And our spell slots are 4, 3, 3, 3. 2, 1, 1, 1. Oh, so close to a 9th level spell. Making characters very tempting, but I like teaching myself. Well, the invitation is open, Rycon. And you know what? Even if you wanted to teach yourself, I don't mind keeping a PDF open, and instead of instructing or lecturing, if you wanted to hop in voice, you and I could do it live over the stream, and you could try and figure it out yourself, and I could just give you some prompts. Whatever will work best for you, let me know. And watch you create your sheets and get a feeling for how it's done and the thought process behind it. I will say this, Eska, how I'm creating this character, especially because we're creating a level 15 character from the start in this example. This is not the traditional way of creating a character. However, this is a thoughtful way. We're trying to conceptualize this character and get an idea for her. We want to make her real. We want to give her purpose and attitude and a thought process. It's on cooldown because Dark Wolf just pulled a card. Yeah, cooldown, Norton. All right. Up next, we are getting Bartok Inspiration / Cutting Words. And we are going to be at D12s. We're going to get 2 of them because that is our charisma score, and we've used 0. We're casting off of charisma, so this we're going to be attacking with a +7. So she's a bard, but we didn't maximize her charisma score because she's using bard as a support. So she's really like a fighter that's magically sings or something along those lines. And don't be afraid also, if you're making characters, don't be afraid to not optimize your primary stat if you think you can role play with something a little bit better. So your modifier or bonus to hit with a spell is based off of your casting ability and your proficiency. The difficulty class to save against a spell effect for an enemy that you're casting a spell on is your attack bonus +8. Dark Wolf is now a crispy woo. Hey, a female gnome rogue. There you go, Dark Wolf. She is going to also be getting... it's called Jack of all trades. We'll call her Jill of all trades. Which means that she gets to add half of her proficiency bonus rounded down to skills or ability checks, because ability checks are, skills are ability checks, in which she is not proficient. This means, as a heads up to new players, Rytel or what did I just forget? I'm sorry, Eska Roots. For Eska and Rytel, your initiative up here is based on your dexterity, but your initiative is an ability check. Therefore, if you're playing a bard, this jack of all trades bonus applies to it. In that case, it would normally be 2. Well, now because of jack of all trades, this is actually going to be 4. Yep, Norton, you will get a bonus if you defeat the tomb. You'll get double EXP. Now, the saving throws here are going to be based on the score that you have, right? So your strength saving score is going to be 4 because your modifier is 4. Normally, your athletics, if you're not trained, right, if you don't have, or if you're not proficient, if you don't have this bubble filled in, would reflect the same. However, because of this jack of all trades, this is actually going to be at a 6. And just remember, though, saving throws are not the same as an ability check. This ability only works with ability checks. Now, dexterity, we have a saving throw proficiency. See how the diamond is filled in here? So it's 2 plus your proficiency. In this case, it's going to be 7. Stealth is going to be the same at 7. Acrobatics would normally be 2, but remember, Jack of all trades is half rounded down of your proficiency bonus. Acrobatics is 4, and Sleight of Hand is 4. Constitution saving throw is 3. Intelligence is 0. History is 5, and Investigation is 5. Therefore, Arcana is just going to be 2, 2, and 2. Our Wisdom saving throw is going to be -1. We're not very wise. However, +2, -1, you, even with a negative Wisdom modifier, you are rolling with a +1 in these Wisdom categories. Perception is going to be +5, -1, so this is actually going to be +4. I hope this is making sense. It seems a little off because of the special nature of bards. Oh, Norton got bit by a zombie, huh? Rykon says, if you wanted to make a halfling that rides a mastiff, would you need a certain class to do so to have a pet? No, not necessarily, Rykon. You can take a feat that will make it easier for you to do. I would suggest getting animal handling somehow. But, yeah, you can ride an animal. You know, if it's already domesticated, you might not even need the handle animal skill. Or even if it is and you have handle animal, you can control it better. Or maybe you're a Beastmaster Ranger and wants to take a Mastiff as your pet, as your beast. Or a Paladin and you want your Mastiff to be the mount that you summon. Mola Molkua, hello to you. Derek says sometimes you need a demonic elk as an ally. Uh-oh. Wolf versus Knoll. Now, to figure out your attacks, how hard you hit with normal weapons, not just magic. Longsword, strength-based weapon, right? You're swinging with your arm. So you take your strength modifier and you are proficient in that weapon. That means that we're going to be swinging with a +9 with our longsword. Same with our dagger. Now, our dagger can be used with Dexterity also because of an ability called Finesse that is a part of a dagger. But our strength is higher, so let's use that. You get bonus damage based on the stat that you're using to attack with that weapon. In this case, daggers deal 1d4 damage themselves, but because of the strength of the stab you're putting behind it, you're going to be getting an extra 4 damage. Same with a longsword that deals 1d8 plus 4 slashing damage. Now next to this, you may have seen here where I put 1d10 V. The V stands for versatile. That is a weapon descriptor, meaning that if you were to wield the longsword in one hand, you're swinging and you're rolling a d8 for damage. If you go 2 hands on a longsword, you're putting a little extra oomph behind it, and you can roll a d10 for damage instead. You have an idea for a halfling that rides a mastiff and has a flail for her weapon. That's an interesting idea, Rykon. You know, a barbarian, a fighter, a paladin could work well for that. A ranger could work well for that too, Rykon. And Bubonic One kind of echoes that. Yes, rangers are good with melee weapons. You get a fighting style that can help you with fighting even better with a melee weapon. Rangers aren't just bows and arrows. In fact, you can fight with 2 weapons if you want. We are going to get something called Song of Rest. Song of Rest lets us help heal our allies even more in between combats. We are a 1d10. We will get our archetype, which is our Bard College. We are also going to get Expertise in 4 skills. So we'll get to add our proficiency bonus twice. But I won't worry about which skills those are just yet. We're going to receive Font of Inspiration, Counter Charm, and Magical Secrets. You've plundered magical knowledge from a wide spectrum of disciplines. Choose 2 spells from any class, including this one. A spell you choose must be of a level you can cast as shown on the Bard table, or a cantrip. The chosen spells count as Bard spells for you and are included in the number of spells known in the Bard table. You learn 2 additional spells from any class at 14th, and again at 18th. So Bards, because they travel, they hear all this different stuff, you can take Druid spells and effectively make them Bard spells. Okay, now for our specialty. Actually, I'm going to put 4 spells. There we go. Okay. We went College of Valor. So these are people who fight and sing and play instruments on the battlefield. They're people, they aren't just studious casters. These are people who will be in your face because they're creating their own legend or reliving a legend that they've talked about before in a tavern or before a noble lord. Medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. We already have that down here. Combat Inspiration. So we have combat Bardic Inspiration / Combat Inspiration. It's another way that we can use our abilities. In this case, we go, hey, 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 and we distract an enemy from attacking someone else that we don't want to have be hit. We will also get an extra attack, meaning we can swing twice on our turn. And we're getting Battle Magic. at by level 15. You have mastered the art of weaving spellcasting and weapon use into single harmonious act. When you use your action to cast a bard spell, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action. There we go. So we're casting with our sword. No, I see that you two have been you've been sparring together, Norton. And sorry, I am looking off to the side because one of my cats isn't doing so well. All right, so we have our class abilities, we have our archetype, right? Our college abilities here. A lot of this is filled in. Our passive perception, by the way, is 14. That's 10 plus your perception modifier, and that reflects your natural awareness of what's going on around your character. So you don't always have to roll dice. Sometimes you just notice things because you are an attentive person. Well, she's old, Derek. I'll be taking her to the vet tomorrow to see if there's anything we can do. Maybe get some fluids in her or give her a vitamin shot or something. Bubonic is reminding Norton that no gnolls were harmed in the adventure. Now, she has earned a name. She is no longer just a set of stats. Let's calculate some hit points, by the way. At first level, you are... Whoops, forgot. You are a D8 hit class. You get 15 of them because you're level 15. Sorry about that. There we go. So at first level, you get 8 hit points. Every level after first, you get... Well, as I suggest and as I run it, your DM may be different. I go half plus 1. So in that case, you're going to get 5 hit points, right? Half of 8 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And we're level 15, so we're going to multiply 5 times 14 because we already got all 8 hit points at level 1. But wait, there's more. Every level of your character, you get bonus hit points based on your Constitution modifier. Therefore, we're going to put 15 times, and in this case, 3. We're going to be getting an extra 45 hit points from having a higher Constitution as our character. So she is definitely in it to win it in battle. Right? So this is going to become 45. 0, carry the 2. So this is going to be 70. So this is now going to be 115. Plus 8 is 123. As a bard. Now, you think bards are kind of fragile, right? Dark Wolf, thank you very much for the host. Right now, with just leather armor, she would actually be at a 13 armor class. However, look, by level 15, she's probably not just wearing leather armor anymore. She can wear medium armor and have shields. Now, the beginning packages for bards don't give that to you. So over the course of the adventure, you'd want to try and pick them up. So as she's standing, she only has 13 AC. But let's say that she went with... let's say that we went with... half plate. She'd get a breastplate, so she doesn't have disadvantage on stealth, because she's a stealthy person. So let's give her a breastplate, right? She's level 15. She can come up with 700 gold for that. Expensive, right? As we look at armor, breastplate will give you 14 plus your dex modifier, which is a maximum of 2. So the breastplate alone would put that there, but we can add in her dex modifier to bring it to 16. And if we gave her a shield also, so we could indicate that by putting in the shield bonus, your shield will give you an extra 2. So here you have, if you have someone rolling up on you, with an 18 AC, sword and board, you're not going to say, oh, look at that, that's a pansy little bard, I'm just going to beat on him. That you think, no, this is a fighter, maybe a barbarian or someone coming at me. Meanwhile, here she is infusing her blade attacks with bardic magic when you just thought you were going to get into a normal sword fight. Null, yeah, Null V a woo. So Mola, the answer is it's going to depend on your dungeon master. There is, in 5th edition, you can, let's say you start with full plate for whatever reason. You'll probably be ending the game in the same full plate if you don't get magical full plate, which will increase your AC by 1. Your defenses are pretty well static from level 1 to 20. Unless your DM is super loading you up on magic stuff. So you may start with leather armor, and honestly, you might wear that same leather armor throughout the entire adventure. It's a very kind of a flat curve, right? It doesn't super spike up like, yes, I have a 36 strength score, giving me, plus 20 to hit and all this other stuff. You naturally cap out at 20, which is a plus 5 modifier. And a lot of times, the armor, even the mundane armor you get along the way, you'll probably carry with you through a lot of your games. So it's going to be up to your DM if they say, yeah, every level beyond first, I'll let you buy something with a budget of 500 gold pieces per level. So in this case, you would get 500 times 14 levels beyond the first. And then you could go to your equipment section and shop for mundane items. You can go to the Dungeon Master's Guide and shop for magical items if your DM allows it. But that's a very good question, Mola. There is a concept of character wealth per level of advancement. Though, again, that's going to come down to your DM's discretion because every game is going to be different. Bubonic says, that's why I love Pathfinder 2. You can add magic runes to increase the AC or resists on the same piece of armor you begin with and increase its AC. Ooh, our character is going to need a name here. Now, if any of you are still new and watching, or Mola, even if you have a concept for the name for our half-orc valorous bard, right, our battle bard, she's a spy who's actually a hired killer. I'm looking for names. Anyone can throw something out there. If a couple of you do, we can make an amalgamation of names, or we can all say, yeah, you know what, that other one seems really good. There are a couple other things that I do need to do, which is add her spells, and then we'll be finished with the character. Nanav, hello. You're just lurking over breakfast? No problem. No problem, Nanav. Enjoy your breakfast. Good morning to you. Thankfully, characters aren't really requiring items to make up power. Seems that items that are utilitarian are far more useful than just stat boosting. Yes, Derek. I agree. Now, while we do have a follower here, I will remind you that this is a stream that I run in a PG-13 fashion. So, I mean, if you want to participate and you're like, yeah, it was a joke name, I made it on a bet or something, that's fine. But please realize that I do keep things PG-13. Jose, it's been a while. Good to see you. Yes, yes. This whole time, Jose, we've pulled the cover over your eyes this entire time. Little did you know. Hi, Bubonic, again. Yeah, and that was 15 here. Bartok Inspiration, Combat Inspiration. We get a number of uses equal to our Charisma modifier, and there we go. Yeah, that's true, Avalon. And then I do turn the mature filter on at that point in time. Oh, did you just need to break it in? Did you get one of those foam ones that mold to your body, Jose? Then the rating fluctuates until I get banned or something. Yeah, well, unfortunately, while it hasn't been you, King, but we have had to ban people here. I don't like doing it, but, you know. 1, 1, and 1. Oh, the memory foamer is too soft for you, Mola? King says, for me, it's the horror knowing that the foam is learning and will never forget me. Bubonic says, I sleep on concrete IRL. Ooh. Now, you know what? Some people might have they have something, their back might hurt or something. They actually need a hard surface like that. Did you get that nice, like, high thread count Egyptian cotton? Or, there's a new material it's actually made from bamboo that can do a good job, too. Yeah, please do, Jose. If you have a recommendation, please do share it. All right, for bards, we know 4 spells at level 1. I suggest that you keep track of where you're getting your spells. It'll make it a lot easier. At what level did you acquire it? Did an ability give you a spell? Are you a wizard? Did you purchase a spell in Milltown, during harvest season? Make little notes like that. It can help keep things organized for you. A tatami mat, Bubonic? Well, so it'll be slightly softer than concrete. Now, over here for the bard, as you see, level 1 we start with 4. At level 2, we know 5 we know 5 spells. I was speaking with a creaky voice today in Curse of Strahd, because they ran into a kind of an upstart teenager character. And so my voice has been a little creaky afterwards because I was giving it that old college try. You saw tatami mats at Walgreens of all places. Well, do you live around a high Asian population, King? Jose says, is there like an anything? Yeah, Table Talk. You can put it in Table Talk, the first one, Jose. Death count. I wish I could do that for the goblins I work with. So here at level 2, we get one more spell, but it has to be level 1, right? Because as we see, you can't cast level 2 spells yet. Now, if you go to a 3rd level, we know one more spell, but we know 2nd level spells. And this is, it'll continue like this, where we go level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8, level 9, level 10, 11, 12. Let's see. Actually, we're going to get an extra bonus one. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At 8th level, we know 11. At 9th level, we know 12. And then we go up to spells known 14 at 10th. 10. And if you want, you can do this. You can put them both here, but nothing stops you if you can learn a spell later. You can drop you can drop that and say, well, if I get 2 at level 10, right? Because you go from 12 spells known to 14, you could put level 10 way over here in first, because you're proficient at 1st level spells. You can do that. Whatever you'd like to do. So the way I'm showing you is just how you'd get things through a natural progression. And then afterwards, you can swap this around, switch it, play with it, bop it, boop it, whatever you'd like. 12 to 14, then we know 15 at 11. At level 12, you see that we still know 15 spells, so we don't gain a new one until 13th level. So this becomes level 13. Then at 14th level, we gain 2 spells, right? We go from 16 to 18. And as you can see, we can put them in 7th level if we wish. Actually, 13th can even go down here if we really wanted to. And then that's going to be 15 and 15. I should say 14 and 14. And then at 15th level, we go from 18 to 19, and we can cast 8th level spells. There we go. It can seem a little confusing, and heck, I even have to double check on some of this, because your different casting classes are going to treat things differently. But as long as you're paying attention, if your spell's known is increasing, then you learn another spell along the way. If your ability to cast higher level spells is increasing, right? See, look at this edge right here. Then you can learn spells higher up. If we look at this and you say, oh, no, look, why do I want 3 level 7 spells? Let's drop a 14 and a 3, and let's drop one of my 10s and a 2. You can do that as you're leveling your character up. All right, Nanav, thank you for joining us and having a good breakfast. Have a good day at work. Done. Best sheets ever. Someone mislabeled it as for children. I'll take a look in a second here. And on top of this now, remember that a bard gets magical secrets. We can choose 4 spells from any other casting class, and we can have them count as bard spells. So, I don't know, if our party's missing big healing magic from a cleric or a druid, we can drop that in here somewhere. And I would suggest then, because this is called Magical Secrets, let's say that you wanted to give yourself a level 4 spell. I would go something like MS 1 / Druid, and then the spell. And then we could go MS 2 / Wizard, and there's the spell. And then we went, it said you can even take a cantrip. MS3 / Warlock. And finally, there's actually like a really big nuke spell that we want. Yes, unlimited powered bard. We go MS for sorcerer. Or now we'll make a big like a nuke 'em all cleric. There we go. And so you're indicating on your sheet when and where you're getting these spells. Because your DM might say, wait a minute, I thought that was a cleric spell. Where are you getting that? And you may have known at the time, but you've since forgotten it. You can hand over your spell sheet and say, oh, yeah. So this is Magical Secrets. This was the 4th spell of Magical Secrets that I could get. And this is a cleric-based spell, but I'm counting it as a bard one because of that ability. Yep, Jose, this is a Valor Bard who's very combat heavy. If you take a look at her stats, she doesn't have the highest charisma, and that's fine. She doesn't need it. She will beat down on people and cast magic through her blade while doing so. And, oh, I'm sorry, she also needs a little bit of expertise as well. She gets 4 expertise, which means we're going to add her proficiency again. Probably, given her personality, right? The first thing I do in a new place is note the locations of everything valuable or where such things could be hidden. I don't pay attention to the risks in a situation. Never tell me the odds. Freedom. Chains are meant to be broken, as are those who would forge them. Her bond is, I will become the greatest thief that ever lived. And her flaw, if there's a plan, I'll forget it. If I don't forget it, I'll ignore it. So I think investigation, perception, stealth to roll up on people and try and kill them quietly, and probably deception. That means our stealth jumps up to a 12 from a 7. Investigation goes to a 10 from a 5. Perception goes to a 9, and therefore a 19 passive because of that expertise. And, I didn't fill in my charisma. 2, we are proficient in charisma saving throw. That's going to be a 7. Intimidation will be a 7. However, deception is going to be a 12 because we add proficiency twice. Performance would normally be a 2, but because of Jack of all trades, we're adding half rounded down. So we're going to add another 2, so we get 4 performance and 4 persuasion. There we go. Look at that. Oh, she's a beast. Man, she's very good at her job being a spy / hired killer. All right, so aside from actually choosing the spells that we're going to give her, because I want to get up and take a little bit of a break here. Bard, and we're going to make a reminder. Choose 4 magical inspiration spells. This is her layout, and we could look through the books. We can move a level 10 to a level 3, or I'm sorry, it's technically a level 5 spell to a level 2 slot. We can have fun and do a lot of this and move things around and look at the other spell sheets of the other classes. That's going to take a little bit more time than what I want to do right now, because I'm going to want to get up and move around. And I think I'm going to get a snack too. By the way, BW3s has a new wing sauce called Korean barbecue. It's very good. I'd highly recommend it. It's not too spicy at all. Not too spicy. It's like a medium spice. Very savory, kind of has an umami kick, if you know what umami is. Oh, did I misdo that, Dorgrim? If I did, thank you for catching me on it. You've plundered magical knowledge from a wide spectrum. Choose 2 spells from any class, including this one. A spell you choose must be of a level you can cast, as shown on the Bard table, or a cantrip. The chosen spell counts as Bard spells for you and are included in the number of the spells known. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, they are already included. That's why we're getting 2, derp. You learn 2 additional spells from any class at 14th and 18th. Okay, yeah, so I'm sorry, that's why we got that stutter step. 10, 10, 14, 14, and so on. So I'm sorry. These slots here were because they're already included. Good catch. Sorry on that. I've been kind of distracted and getting through things. All right, I'm gonna take a break. Thank you again for the catch on that, Dorgrim. I'll be back in about 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna get something to drink, have a snack, and just check on Sophie a little bit here, and I'll come back. And if anyone needs help building a character, we can do that. We can. I was intending on going on to Roll20 and just kind of derping around a bit, playing with it. I'll go through the tutorial, so I'm refreshing myself and anyone else out there who has questions about Roll20. We can go from there. So just give me a little bit of time, and I will BRB.